not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, y'all? It is Tasha. I am back with another video. Thank you so much for stopping into my channel. If you are new here, thanks so much for stopping in. Please hit that subscribe button on your way out of here. If you are not new, welcome back. Y'all know how we get down. Leave your comments in the comment section because we are back here to talk about Love is Blind yet again. Season 5, episode 9. All right? So this episode starts off with Stacy and Izzy going to get their marriage license. We finally see Stacy with no makeup on. Should I say it? I'm going to go ahead and say it. Stacy looks about 54 with no makeup on. Like, girl, I know the makeup is a little bit harsh, but geesh, without the makeup, this is why it's so important to take care of your skin and stay out of the sun like that, because you don't want your face to age before it is really its time. Oh my goodness. But anyway, we then see Lydia and Milton. They're also going to waste $74 on a marriage license as well. Now we see the two brides that we have this season. I can't believe we have two brides that are going wedding dress shopping. Vanessa is there for the ladies. Nick is there with the guys at the tuck shop. We see Lydia is there with her mom. Renee is also there from the pods with her. And then she has a couple friends and her brother. They all say they absolutely love Milton, of course. Over with the guys, we see who the guys are with. And we notice that Milton does not have his mom there. His dad's not there. His sister's not there, nor is his brother-in-law there. Why didn't anybody show up for little old Milton, huh? Okay. Anyway, Nick gives his, I guess, advice on being married to someone who is loud, since his wife is loud, I guess. Let's move on. So next we see Stacy and her mom along with her two sisters as well. They all say that they love Izzy and he is the balance that Stacy's needs. And I'm like, y'all love him? How long has it been since the last meeting when y'all met him for the first time and y'all love him? Okay. Izzy, we see he's at the tuck shop. His mom is there with him, and so is a few of his friends. The guys toast, and now it's time to try on some suits. Back over at the bridal shop, we see Stacy is showing off her denim jacket that her friend gave her that has Mrs. Zapata on the back. And I'm like, you so excited about this little jacket, and it's just going to end up at the thrift store, honey. Somebody is going to get this poor little jacket because you are not going to be no Mrs. Zapata. Or you might be, at least for a little while, okay? Because I just constantly have mixed emotions about Stacy, because I appreciate Stacy because she has called Izzy out when he needs to be called out, but then she kind of just gets sucked back in to his web of lies and everything. And I don't know how to feel about that. And then I don't like how nasty she was to Johnie the last episode. So Stacy, girl, I ain't completely written you off, but I got my good eye on you, and you this close to being written off, okay? We go back over to the guys, and Izzy is having a conversation, you know, with the guys and his mom. And is it just me, but Izzy eyes, he always looks sleepy, drunk, high, one or all of those in the eyes all the time. It concerns me as to why his eyes just be telling me something, and I don't like what they telling me, okay? Over back with the ladies, Stacy comes out in her first dress. The dress is full of lace, sparkles, flowers, beads, and she's like, but it's just basic and it's not me. And then she tries on a dress that is plain at the top and just full of tulle at the bottom. She's like, oh, it's perfect. I love it. And that's not a plain dress compared to the first dress you have on? Okay. We see Milton is talking to his friends. He said that Lydia is feisty and stubborn as hell, but it's great. He's usually terrible at communicating. But with her, he communicates very well. He says he's really learning to filter his mouth because he's really pretty much a straight shooter when it comes to talking. But he's learning that he cannot be as blunt with Lydia because we know she can be a little bit emotional at times. So he's being cautious about that. But he admits he's a little bit scared and he is nervous. But, you know, he hopes that Lydia says yes, but he can't say that with 100%. So next out with the ladies is Lydia. She tries on her first dress, and I really do like this dress on her. It had kind of little cap sleeves, made her boobs look amazing. Like, I loved it, but she wasn't in love with it, although it did pass the twerk test that she put it to. She then tries on a dress that's a little bit more fitted, and this one is very pretty as well, and she ends up saying yes to this dress. Lydia says she was never really sure this day would happen, or that she would be this happy. But I'm like, you just getting a dress right now. This is not the typical wedding where you know with pretty much certainty that your groom is going to say yes once you get down to the end of the aisle. Girl, we are just getting the dress. We do not know yet if you're actually going to be a wife, okay? So next we see Stacy and Izzy. They go on a little plane ride. He has to let us know that the previous day was, Flower Monday, because he's so excited that he buys her these flowers every Monday. I don't know why this makes him so proud, but here we are. He said he planned this date to give Stacy a preview of what the rest of her life is going to be like because she likes to ride private jets. And I said, so let me get this right. You actually think that giving her this plane ride around the city is equivalent to her flying private to go on vacation with her family? Whew, Izzy, you missing the mark, my guy. But thanks, Netflix, for funding the date, because if Stacy ever really wants to fly private again, she's going to be funding it for the both of them. All right? Or, like he said, they'll just put out both of the cards and go Dutch with it. We'll see what happens, okay? But they have a dinner date in the hangar. He said that they haven't had any meltdowns recently, so they've been both pretty calm. And I'm like, so it hasn't been like more than a week or two since the whole bathroom meltdown that Izzy had? Okay. But she says he is so calming to her. She would not be sitting where she is if it wasn't for him and who he is, being so mellow. And that's really her favorite part about him. He didn't think he would fall in love again because y'all know he was previously engaged. But Stacy just surprised him. He's completely crazy about her. I already told y'all what he is really crazy about. Starts with the M, ends with a Y. He said he hung out with her family twice, and he really feels so welcoming with them already. So I'm like, now we know that basically what the mom and sister saying was BS, because how y'all love him and y'all only hung out with him twice? Okay. But anyway, he lets us know that most of his family will not be at the wedding because he's like, this process is just so, untraditional. But the people that matter will be there. But, she's like, but babe, it's okay. Because, like my family is just obsessed with you. And I'm like, y'all just be saying any old thing on this TV. Just any old thing on this TV. Ma'am, 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 ma'am. Like Judge Mathis says, ma'am, ma'am. Your family is not obsessed with him. Stop it. They met this man twice. I promise you, they are not obsessed with him. Stacy, you putting on, honey. So they dance in the hangar, and I guess they love each other today. So next we see Milton and our favorite sister, Jessica. They get together to eat lunch so they can catch up. She asked what Lydia thought after meeting the family, and he said that Lydia thought it was intense, but he thought it went better than expected. He lets her know that joining their family can be a little bit difficult because of their family dynamics. It's just really different than how most families are that he's seen with his friends. He says that Lydia's family is more passionate, expressive, and emotional, and his sister's like, I mean, we can be passionate. Girl, y'all look like y'all cannot be passionate, okay? She asks him what makes him so sure that he's ready for marriage, and he says, just like anything else that makes him feel sure. His gut basically is telling him. So she tells him really that marriage is real, and usually the family's a part of the process for any major decision he needs to make in life. He says, basically, you know how I am. Even if mom and dad were to say no, I'll probably still do it. So you don't listen, Milton. That's what you telling us. You hard-headed, okay? He says that basically, as with any decision, you collect all the data points and you make the best decision you can. And she said, that sounds like a science project. And it does. But he tells her, he says, you know, Lydia being more vulnerable really helps him to grow. His sister really brings up how they kind of discuss, you know, parenting styles, merging families. And she's just wondering if they've had the difficult conversations that they need to have before they get married. Milton says they're both in it for the same reason. They really want to get married and they love each other. And I'm like, but what else is going on, Milton? It has to be more than that for you guys to want to get married for the rest of your life. Like, okay. But Milton's like, but you'll be at the wedding, right? And she's like, yeah, we'll be there. She does not look happy about it, but she'll be there. So now it's the day before the wedding, and Ish is about to go down over here with Izzy and Stacy, okay? So we see them packing bags. Stacy is packing. Izzy is just dumping, looks like dirty laundry into luggage bags. You can feel the tension through the TV, child. I'm like, what has happened, okay? He's trying to fill the silence with small talk. She looks pissed about it and is not feeding into it right now. He asks her how she feels about the conversation they had, and she says she doesn't know if she can trust him. And I'm like, wait, tell us what happened, because this is coming out of nowhere for those of us viewing the TV at this moment. He asks with what exactly? She said with the credit stuff, because she had asked him why he doesn't have any credit cards, and she asked him if there was anything that she needed to know, and he said no. Of course he did, Stacy. He said he really wanted to lay everything out there and really wanted to talk when they had time to talk. You know, any other time it's just kind of been brought up on a whim. Izzy, shut up. Because you sound like you're making excuses, okay? But he said he knew it would really be an in-depth conversation, and he really wanted them to be able to have the time to talk about it. But he was not hiding it. And he wants y'all to know he was not hiding it, okay? She tells him that really you kind of ramble and you skate around a lot when I ask you questions. And he said, yeah, I do. Sometimes it takes me a while to process things, but I'm not trying to BS you. And I could have just gone on with not saying anything. Well, now it's the day before the wedding, so you were this close to not saying anything, Izzy. Like, stop acting like you being a good guy at this moment. So she keeps talking about him lying, and when she brought up, you know, a credit card thing, and says she isn't sure that she can now trust him. And I'm like, can y'all spit it out? What has happened? Like, we are dancing around the mulberry bush. What has happened with Izzy and this credit card, okay? But she says that it scares her, and she is really looking worried, and he keeps saying, I wasn't trying to hide it, and he really thinks she's just taking things the wrong way. Here he is with his gaslighting and playing the victim, y'all. He has turned it up yet again. He says that they were both heated and scared, so he did not want to have the discussion. Nah, Izzy, that was you that was probably heated and scared, okay? Not her. Then he says, I don't want to feel like I'm walking on eggshells, and I just don't want to feel like I'm going to say anything to upset you. Yeah, I am so sick of these narcissists that are so easily able to flip things around and make themselves be the victim and make us feel sorry for them. Well, the people on this TV feel sorry for them, because I don't feel sorry for him. Like, you don't want to hurt her, but you lie and say, well, you don't lie. You omit information, Izzy. Like, make it make sense. Again, he says he wasn't trying to hide anything. She said she asked him at a gas station one time if he had a credit card, and he said no. And she was like, so me asking you about the credit card, it never crossed your mind to tell me why? And he was like, not in that moment, because I wanted to really sit down formally and have the conversation with debt. So her asking you about a credit card didn't make you remember about the credit card debt that you had? Oh, let me guess, because she asked you on a Monday at 5 o'clock, and you really want to talk about debt on a Tuesday at 1:30. Is that what it is? She didn't ask you on the right day at the right time, Izzy? Do you know how stupid you sound right now? Okay, so he says he isn't in debt, and it's all paid. It's just bad credit, and everything was only like $3,500. He tries to say this real low under his breath as to not completely embarrass himself on national TV. And after he said that, I said, so look at here. So Johnie was right. Johnie was right all along when she told us that this ninja had bad credit. Y'all, this did nothing but further confirm to me that this man loved and probably still loves Johnie, because you obviously felt safe enough and open enough to tell her this level of information in the pods, that she knew about this before your now fiance is learning about this the day before the wedding. But yet you're completely acting like Johnie is obsessed with you and you didn't really feel her like that. Okay, keep lying, Izzy. All right. But he really wants to know that she will have his back, and he really doesn't want to lose her. And then he hugs her, and she's like, it'll be okay. And if y'all didn't pay attention to his eyes in this scene, I want y'all to go back to watch when he hugs her, and the look in his eyes looks like, got her. All I needed her to do was believe in me one more time and say yes to me tomorrow, and I got her. Go back and look at it if y'all hadn't seen it. But he just looks like, I continue my F-boy ways because she is going to fix my credit for me and I don't have to worry about that anymore. Yay for me. City boys up 1, okay? Then we see Lydia and Milton go on a date to, I guess, a rock museum, child. I don't know what this is, but it's cute. They both love rocks, but they sit down. She asks how he feels about the wedding. He says he's excited. She says she feels a little bit nervous, but it'll get kind of more intense as the wedding day gets here. They toast, they start eating, and then we can already feel issues about to go down with these two as well. She asks if he never thought how his wife would be, and he says kind of yeah, but being with her so far has just really been different than it was in the pods, because sometimes Lydia just wakes up angry. And she's kind of like, well, what have you done to make me angry? Girl, how you gonna make somebody else responsible for your feelings all the time, honey? That's not how this works, okay? But she tells him it's a reason she is upset and basically acts like it is your fault. What did you do to make me mad? He's like, your eyes were open for 10 seconds. How are you mad already before the day even gets started? So then she starts complaining about him leaving things around the house, not helping with the cleaning. Although in the pods, he said he was not a messy person. And I'm like, girl, he is 24. I think you keep forgetting he's 24. He's 24. 24. Okay, Lydia. Okay. He says he's trying his best, but he can try harder. This conversation, yet again for the second time with them, sounds like a mother-son conversation, not two adults talking. She says that she has no doubts that he loves her, but she isn't sure if he's going to take the things that make her upset into consideration. He asks if she thinks that he doesn't compromise with her on things that he doesn't want to do, and she says no, but he says he feel like, I can't really tell you how I really feel all the times, and I really have to watch my words because you are really emotional. Not a good or bad thing. You just really emotional. What Lydia heard was, if things aren't handled the way that Milton wants them handled, then it was wrong, and that's not what he said. He asked her if she's upset with him, and I'm like, Milton, baby, clearly she is upset. Stop asking stupid questions that you already know the answers to, okay? But he said he wasn't proud of basically how she handled the situation with Uche, and said, and she's like, I'm proud. I'm proud that I walked away twice from him. And Milton said it shouldn't have been a twice. Like, you should walk away the first time and stay. And I was like, well, okay, Milton. Okay, like, I'm feeling you on that, because I definitely mentioned Lydia going back for more because she loves the drama a little bit. Her and Uche, that's why they went back and forth 3 times in their situationship, because they both love the drama. But he says he just wants to be honest with her. And she says that, you know, he doesn't have to agree with her, just support her. And he's like, I did support you. And I'm like, girl, he did support you in that whole situation, okay? He says that he listens to her, but she doesn't really listen to him. And instead, she gets very defensive. And what does Lydia do in this situation? Get defensive. Like, you proved this man point right at the very moment he said it, child. And Milton is like, I know I said what I said, but at this very moment, he knew he also effed up. So he keeps eating, and he's like, you know, we're here on this date, and it's so beautiful. Like, why do we have to argue? She's like, we're not arguing, having a disagreement, as she is clearly pissed, okay? He says that if someone disrespects him, he's really going to show them who the F he is based on his actions, and she should have handled things differently. And she's like, this is me handling things the way I handle them got me where I am today. And although they both handle things differently, Milton is like, well, what happens when we have kids? I really want the kids to know that sometimes things will be tough, but really never giving someone the privilege to control their emotions. And I said, see, you done sat home and thought about what your sister said during lunch. And now you wondering how y'all are going to parent these kids if y'all decide to get married and have children. That's why you need to be listening and talking to your sister, Milton. Okay? He mentions how she called Uche an a-hole. Lydia said that he is one. And he said he would never have that same situation with his ex. But she's like, I was just trying to convey what I felt in the moment. And Milton is like, yeah, thanks for telling me again. This pissed her the hell off. And she gets up. She says she needs a minute. She walks away. She starts crying. Milton continues to sip his wine, completely looking unbothered. She comes back to the table. Milton just starts eating again. Like, this whole reunion back after the fight is hella awkward, okay? He apologizes if he hurt her feelings, and she apologized that she doesn't abide by his expectations. And I'm like, Lydia, girl, can we not be petty in this very moment, okay? Like, stop being passive aggressive. But he says he doesn't have expectations. She says it sounds like he did, but he says he was trying to express where he felt uncomfortable. But she apologizes yet again. And she says, I'm sorry that I've done things that you don't like, but this is me. I'm loud. I'm passionate. I'm emotional. It is just me. And I'm like, funny that this is her. And when Milton is around other people, he's acting like those are the features that he really loves about her. When in reality, baby, these are the things you really dislike about her. Let's be honest with yourself, okay? She says she didn't think this is how the night would go. And then she says she loves him. He says he loves her. They grab hands and she says, we got this, right? And he plays with her finger, with the ring on her finger. And to me, that's given a hell no. I have come to my senses in this very moment. And big dog, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. It was just for me. I know they probably chopped and screwed that whole date. But how y'all were able to flip from being upset to she's smiling and saying, I love you. And he's saying, I love you too. And we got this. Y'all ain't got this, big dog, okay? But anyway, that's how this episode ends. So now I want us to get our final votes in, y'all. We only got 2 couples. So let me know below in the comments how y'all think this is going to go when we get our new episodes. In my opinion, I think that Stacy is finally going to come to her senses and she is going to say no. And Izzy will say yes. And then for Lydia and Milton, I think Lydia will say yes and Milton will say no. I know that's just my thoughts and my opinions. At the bottom line, none of these couples need to actually get married. So I really hope they both don't say yes just for the hell of it, okay? Because then by the time we get to the reunion, we know they both can be broken up if they choose to say yes at the altar. But anyway, let me know y'all thoughts, and then I will be on time for the next few episodes that are coming out later this week. Drop y'all comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.